The following is a paid political announcement from Mr. John Chapman, chairman of the Mid-City Development Plan. It does not necessarily represent the viewpoint of this station.
Ladies and gentlemen, you ask, what are the Negroes kicking up such a fuss about? You ask, what do they want? Well, I'll tell you what they want. They want our jobs and our houses and our churches and our country clubs and our beaches. Now, down south, they know how to handle them. They keep them out of their schools and their parks and their restaurants. Up here, we gave them the inch and they took the mile. We gave them education, we gave them jobs, we gave them neighborhoods of their own. And what are they doing now? They're demonstrating. They're marching up and down the streets and carrying signs. They're saying, we want full citizenship. We want full integration. Well, let me tell you this. God made them black because they are different. And no bleeding hearts and no new laws are going to change them overnight into white men.
Now, the two demonstrations that we put on in this district proved our point. Our grievances are out in the open. Now it's up to the city to act.
I agree. Let's give them the time.
Well, I don't agree. We've built up the pressure, sure. But the minute we ease up on it, Mr. Charlie's gonna think we've quit, and I'm not about to quit.
Nobody's quitting, Billy, but we've proved our point in Mid-City. That track should be open to qualified Negro voters. We said that.
Then let's say it again, over and over and over. We can put more pickets in there this weekend. We can put them at the parks, the stoplights, and every street that leads in there until they get the message.
Don't you think they've already got the message?
They got our message. But we're interested in results. We want to open up that tract, not antagonize homeowners.
Antagonize homeowners? I'm pretty antagonized about not being able to buy a house.
Billy, there's no question about our wants. But look, let's look at our tactics.
Oh.
Monday, there were just a few people calling each other names. But by yesterday, there were some fistfights.
Well, I'm not afraid of fistfights.
I'm not afraid of anything that's going to help us.
Well, good. Then I say we can't stop until any Negro can buy a house anywhere in this city as long as he's got the money to pay for it.
I'll buy that, Billy.
Oh, yes? Win the battle, huh? Lose the war. Stir up all the hotheads, all the lunatics. Start brawls, then riots. No, gentlemen, that is not what I'm fighting for. The best we can get out of this is to have a bunch of our people end up in jail or in the hospitals.
Man, I've been getting hurt all my life from being black, and so have you. Well, maybe it's their turn.
Come on, Bill. Would that make you feel better?
Well, it might.
You know something, Billy? I am not interested in making you feel better, nor you, Walt, nor myself. I'm interested in our rights, in Negro rights. And right now, we're involved in a serious and difficult problem of decent housing.
Well, a few cracked heads just might put a crack in that all-white wall that keeps us locked in this black ghetto.
Oh, well, it's getting late. And I know we can't solve it this evening. What say we meet here again on Friday? Make the decision?
You got mine.
I think it best that we are unanimous in our decision before I take our findings before the group. May I suggest that we think this matter over very carefully, each of us? You've got to be right.
I'll say amen to that. See you Friday.
Yeah, take it easy, Walt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think your chances are, Billy? You sweating it out?
How's that?
I mean the football team of yours.
Well, I wasn't exactly thinking about football.
Think you're going to be able to win the championship on Friday?
Well, we're going to try. We're going to try real hard.
Insight and exploration in depth of the spiritual conflicts of the 20th century. Insight.
How do you do? My name is Father Kieser. Our free way of life is built on the proposition that each and every member of the human race is possessed of infinite dignity. All men are created equal, Jefferson wrote. They are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All men possess these rights. They enjoy this equality simply and solely because they are human beings made in the image and likeness of God. Their race and color has nothing to do with it. Man's rights and dignity are inalienable precisely because they've been endowed by man's Creator. No individual or group has a right to deny these rights or compromise this dignity. To do so is to violate an order established by God himself. Here in America, these principles have been universally acknowledged, but they have not been universally applied. A portion of our population has too frequently been asked to accept a position of second-class citizenship. Because of their color, they have too often been denied the jobs, the schools, and housing necessary for the maintenance of human dignity. They have been asked to wait until some future time for the enjoyment of their God-given rights. Quite rightly, they have gotten tired of waiting, and so they have begun to act. But how? What means do they use to secure their God-given rights? This is the question the hero of today's story must wrestle with.
Hi, boys.
Hi, Miss Carter. Is Coach on?
He sure is. Come on in. Hey, Bill.
Yeah?
I got an end and a tackle out here.
Yeah, okay, I'll be right there.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Well, hey, you guys had been here 5 minutes ago. You could have fixed the stove.
Oh, no. Thank you.
Sit down, fella, sit down.
Hey, I've got some lemonade and snacks out in the refrigerator. Guaranteed not to break training or the coach gets a cold dinner tonight.
You blackmailer.
Thank you very much.
Well, Ben, did you get some heat on that leg?
Oh, yes, sir. It's come loose now.
Good, good. Well, you got no excuse then, huh?
Oh, no.
It's just another game, Coach.
We've been knocking him over all year. No reason to quit now.
You got reason to win. You got a really good reason, fellas, and I don't mean that silver trophy either. And it's not just another game, Jim. This is the game. Now, you two fellas are the co-captains, so you got the guts of it. There's just one thing I want you to remember to take out on that field with you.
Like driving them or hustling, huh?
I mean like breaking their backs. Central High's backs. Well, why are we an all-Negro school, huh? Because we just happen to live on this side of the tracks, right? Well, sure, we don't segregate in our schools, that's what they say. But they don't let you live in their neighborhoods either, do they? That amounts to the same thing. And where they hand out the money in this town says it's going to stay that way.
Well, we were figuring to hustle those cats tomorrow, Coach, but it's pretty tough to fight City Hall.
Yeah, well, you can do it. You know how? With the color of your skin. You can go out on that field tomorrow, and you can look at all those gray boys from Central High, and you can let them know that you're playing them and beating them, and that you're just as good as they are any day of the week and twice as good on Sunday.
Race pride.
Right. Pride in your race. And you can let them know what you think of theirs, too. Sure. When's the last time one of those big business firms from downtown came up to your school and said, well, come on with us, son. Learn the ropes during the summer. And then when you finish school, you can come in and work your way up in the company. And when's the last time some white fella called your father or your uncle on the telephone to tell him that somebody was moving out down the block and that his house is being put up for sale at a good buy? When?
Well, sure, Coach, never. But at least there's a law. Maybe it just takes time.
Time? What time? Another 100 years? The time is now. And you let them know it. Now, I want you to carry that ball hard. You hear? I want you to ram your straight arm into white faces. Those white faces that tell you, wait till you get a bath, black boy. Or wait till you get some new clothes, or some manners, or a PhD.
Yeah, we'll let them know, Coach.
And when you hit those boys, I want you to tackle those white bodies hard. Those white bodies that say to you, God made me white to show the purity of my race, and made you black to show the inferiority of yours.
You know, I never thought of it. Well, I never thought about the game like that.
Yeah, well, you think about it now.
Well, okay, Coach, it ain't no big thing. Anyway, all they got is one big passer.
That's right. Andy Harris, the quarterback.
Seems like we just, took his number, didn't we, Ben?
Well, now you just remember that number when you go out on that field tomorrow. And I want you to think about every school in this so-called liberal northern city. Not just our school in Central High, but every school, either all black or all white. And not because we made it so, but because they did. And you ram it down their throats. Black against white. And you win it.
Guess you can't go to bed yet.
Just not tired, I guess.
No, I imagine not. Oh, Billy, did you have to do that?
For what?
The way you talked to those boys.
I just gave them a pep talk, that's all.
You give pep talks in the locker room. That was pure hate. Yours. Spilling over onto them.
Well, I guess I got enough of it in me to fill me up to here. I'm choking on it, I got so much. And it's not hate, Evie. It's pain and suffering and anguish.
It made me shiver listening to you.
Oh, it did it? Well, I started shivering before I was old enough to walk and talk. And that's from being on the receiving end.
It was hate. It was ugly, Billy.
Ugly? But what do you think this is? You think this world is made out of sweetness and light? Not for Negroes it isn't, or haven't you noticed lately?
I've noticed. All the time.
Well, then what's the matter with you? Can't you feel? I've been feeling for 30 years.
Billy, I know what you've endured. I know. I was raised in Georgia, remember?
Yeah, I remember. What I can't understand is why you don't remember.
I remember how it was. I'm not trying to forget. I'm trying to overcome it.
How it was? How it is, Evie. There, here. A little different, but the same. Boy, you can't sit there. Boy, you can't eat here. Boy, you can't drink out of that fountain. Or why don't you come back tomorrow? Oh, I'm sorry, there just aren't any rooms available. Not for me.
Discrimination's all yours, isn't it? Your own personal cross.
Yeah, it's my personal cross and nobody else can carry it.
The Jews know what it's like, so do the Poles and the Catholics. You can't claim it's an exclusive,
Don't talk
Billy.
to me about somebody else's problem. Now, an Irish Catholic became president. And you don't hate a Jew until you know that he's a Jew. That is, if you're that kind of bigot. But you take me. Charlie can start hating me from half a block away. Before he knows my name or my religion or whether I peddle dope or teach Sunday school, he can hate me if he's got eyes. Because all he can see is my color. Black me.
You think every white man hates you?
Look, I don't have time to take a man in the street poll, you know. I don't have to. There's enough. Enough to put you and me down 24 hours of every day that we live. You look around you, Evie. Just look around.
I'm looking. And I don't like what I see. Your eyes change. Your whole face just locks in hate. It isn't you, Billy.
Now, wait a minute. Now, this isn't something new. I didn't just wake up this morning and suddenly find out I'm a Negro.
No, but the hate is new. And the violence. It's not the Billy I married. It's not the Billy I love. No, I've said enough. I'm going to bed.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Look, I'm not angry you said it. Look, I do love you, Evie. You know that. Nothing could squeeze that out of me.
Billy, we have something. I don't want anything to destroy the little world that just has us in it.
Well, look, what do you want me to do? You want me to just sit here and listen to him calling me an animal or a second or third class citizen, but I shouldn't do anything about it, huh? I shouldn't go marching in the streets. I shouldn't go tying up traffic. That's disgraceful. That might cause violence.
Bill, I never said we should suffer in silence. Nobody's going to hand us our rights. We have to act. But you can't fight hate with hate.
Oh, sure. I've seen that approach, too. Love. Nonviolence. We're gonna love you, they said. And the police dogs chewed the seats of their pants out. We're gonna love you. And the fire hoses knocked them up against the brick walls and down on the pavement. Sure. They got their pictures in the papers, and a few people said, ain't it a shame, but what good did it really do?
It was better than if we had used the fire hoses or we had used the police dogs.
Why? Just why? Why do we always have to be calm, be patient? Why do we always have to show restraint over and over and over when they are killing us?
You think it's something we should take turns at? They kill us, now it's our turn.
Come on, Evie, that's just words, words. You know what they'd call you down at the action meeting? Aunt Thomasina, that's what. Yes, sir, boss. Shut my mouth. Yes, sir.
If I cared about name-calling, Bill, maybe I'd be as bitter as you.
What do you care about, Evie? Doesn't anything bother you?
I care about who I am. I mean me, inside. Not eaten up by hate, no matter what anybody does to me. I'm gonna see people as they are, good, bad. And every single one of them full of human dignity. Worth something, worth everything. Even if he hates me for such a stupid, self-serving piece of blindness as that my skin pigment is different from his.
Okay, let's forget it, babe. We just don't see the same things. It's not that important.
Bill, if you quit believing that each human being is worth something and that each human being should concern you, well, there's not much left of you. And that is important.
Like every other member of the human race, Billy Carter is conscious of his own dignity. In the depths of his soul, he senses the divine likeness. He feels his freedom, his power to love. Dimly, perhaps, he is conscious of a great destiny ahead of him, a destiny which includes the friendship of God. It is then no wonder that Billy recoils from discrimination and de facto segregation. By placing upon him a stigma of inferiority, such unjust practices violate his rights and compromise his dignity. In his heart of hearts, there wells up the anguished cry, "I was not made to be treated like this." Yet indignation is one thing, and hatred is something else. Someone in Billy's position will be sorely tempted to meet Chapman on his own grounds and allow his indignation to degenerate into Chapman's kind of hatred. To succumb to this temptation is a tragic mistake, because hatred not only pits one man against another, shattering the peace which must pervade human society, but it also undermines the dignity of the one who does the hating, poisoning his heart, emptying his life of joy and happiness. Our dignity and joy are to be like God, and God's other name, his gospel name, is love. We have been made to love, not to hate. Hatred is spiritually suicidal. It alienates a man from God. And that is the greatest evil that can befall a human being. But let's return to the Carter apartment. It is the next evening.
You'll never see the field from there. Well, we won it.
Yes, I heard.
I looked for you out there, Evie. I waited for you.
I'll get you some dinner.
What?
Well, what do you want me to say? 3 cheers, congratulations?
It can't be the first time a kid got hurt in a football game.
I listened to the cheers on the radio, but they stopped in the first 5 minutes. Really playing for blood, the announcer said. Well, you finally got it, didn't you?
Come on, Andy Harris was the passer, the playmaker. So they hit him a little hard. That's the chance a kid takes when he plays football.
Bill, this is me. I was here in this room last night. I heard you. You didn't get a passer. You got Whitey's in general and Andy Harris in particular.
Look, it was a game, Evie. I didn't touch that kid.
No, but those boys did what they did for you. You're the cause of it. And as long as you live, you'll know it. How bad is the Harris boy hurt?
A few lacerations, dislocated neck maybe, I don't know.
You don't know? Why don't you know?
Damn it, Evie, what do you want me to do? I can't take it back now.
No, but you can take back what caused it. Deep down, Bill, that boy, what you've done means something to you. I know it. Because I know the man you are. I know you care.
Andy.
Too bad, Andy, coach.
Yeah, it's too bad. He's a fine ball player. You know the boy?
No, I didn't know him. My son did, though. I'm Jimmy's daddy. Saw him play this afternoon. Didn't know him either. Not today. My own son.
Well, he played a good game, your boy.
He wasn't playing no game. Out for blood. You sent him.
It was an accident.
He told me. After it was all over, he come and told me. Cried. Ain't cried since he was 8 or 9. Good boy, my Jimmy. I'm glad he can still cry. You still cry, Coach?
I still cry.
That's good. I know all about them demonstrations, all that ruckus about buying houses. It's important. You're doing a lot I can't. Ain't much a janitor can do except look after his kids. That's why I come here. Try to talk to this boy. But on account of my own boy, too.
No, don't blame your boy, Mr. Wilson. It was my fault. All mine. I wanted something to happen.
You feel good seeing him? That boy lying there hurting? No, you don't feel good. You don't feel no hit him again.
No, I don't. I thought I would, but I don't.
You just ain't no hater. Don't make no difference what color his skin is, does it? That's a mistake they make when they hate us and don't stop. Makes them shrivel up small inside their bellies till their hearts get all the love wrung out of them. Wonder is, they don't dry up and die.
You know, I'm as sorry as I can be about that boy. I'd give anything to take it all back, anything. But I still want something to happen. You know what I mean?
I've been living in this black skin of mine for 58 years. I know what you mean.
Well, then what are we gonna do? Huh? What?
You got some concern for this boy. You care about him, and that's the basic thing. That's what we want, ain't it? Not respect me because I'm black, or white, or hurt. Respect me because I'm plain old Jim Wilson. A man.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Love thy neighbor. You think that'll make a difference?
Makes a difference in you, don't it?
What about them? I don't want to hate, but I'm not gonna stand still. I can't.
You'll find something to do. Like them demonstrations and the things you've been doing. Like man, you'll find the right things. As long as you ain't full of hate.
So I talked to all my people, Frank. The more we think about Billy's way, maybe he's got a point. There's no guarantee we're gonna have violence. Maybe if we shove those demonstrations down their throats, they'll just back down.
Do you want to gamble on that, Walt? You know, there could be violence, and on either side, and that's the gamble. Look, I know we want action. We want it now. I know we've shown great patience in this matter, and I know that our patience is not inexhaustible. But, Walt, when I fight, I want at least the chance of winning something.
Frank, I've heard you talk like this for a long time. But this patience routine, I think you've sold me that about as long as you can.
Walt, patience is about...
Not long enough, Walt.
Oh, Bill, we've been waiting on you. We've just about got it done. You really taught us a lesson in that game. We'll go in there with a little more of that Billy fight in us.
Yeah, we really racked him up today, didn't we?
Bet you did.
What do we get for it? A kid who hasn't got any part of us or our fight or our hate lying in a hospital.
Well, what's the matter? You getting a little knock in the knees, too? Couldn't be that Chapman's reaching you, is he?
Well, maybe, but not the way you think. Look, Chapman's got to hate. He's sick. Sure, he got to me once, but no more. I'm not sick. I don't have to function on his level.
What does that mean? You quit?
Oh, no. No, we're going to fight harder. We're going to keep up with our demonstrations and our court fights and our pickets and every other single legal and peaceful means that we can come up with, as long as we can keep our self-respect. And when we win, and we will win, we'll know that we didn't win because we had the bigger clubs, or the deeper hate, or the most blood. We'll win because we're right.
And how do you keep the Chapmans from strangling us till that day?
All right, let him strike out. Let him make us bleed inside. What do we do? Hate for hate? An eye for an eye? No. We'll love him. We're going to overwhelm every human being with love until we force them to fight on our level.
Sounds like the long way home.
Well, yes, Walt, it is the long way. But you know, it gets there. It gets there.
Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Pray for those who persecute and calumniate you. A difficult commandment. Perhaps the most difficult of all Christ's commandments. At first glance, meeting hatred with love seems quite impractical. Yet experience proves the very opposite is the case. If hatred is met by hatred, then evil escalates. But if hatred is met by love, then one's enemy is disarmed. He no longer knows what to hate or who to hate. It is very difficult for him to hate someone who loves him. Slowly but surely he finds his hatred draining away. It is no match for unselfish love. As St. John of the Cross says, where there is no love, put love, and there you will find love. Love is so powerful and so practical that it can transform an enemy into a friend. The Negro community in the United States is going to win its fight for equal rights because its cause is right. Its victory will come sooner and be more complete because so many of its people have made their own this law of love. One of their great leaders typifies this spirit when he says, to our most bitter opponents we say, we shall match your capacity to inflict suffering by our capacity to endure suffering. We shall meet your physical force with soul force. Throw us in jail and we shall love you. Bomb our homes and threaten our children and we shall still love you. Send your hooded perpetrators of violence into our community at the midnight hour and beat us and leave us half dead and we shall still love you. But be ye assured that we will wear you down by our capacity to suffer. One day we shall win freedom, but not only for ourselves. We shall so appeal to your heart and conscience that we shall win you in the process, and our victory will be a double victory. Love is stronger than hatred. Love can destroy hatred. Love is indeed the most powerful force in the world.
Inside is a production of the Paulist Fathers, a group of Catholic priests who serve their God by serving those outside their church.